We're now going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects and one of the reasons I love real estate, and that's called a real estate 1031 exchange. Let me give you an example of how it contrasts to the stock market. Let's say I buy a stock at $10 and it goes up to $20. So I have a $10 capital gain from 10 to 20. Today I'd have to pay either 35%, approximately 35% with short-term gains, or 15% on the short-term gain. In other words, my gains, my capital gains, is taxed. With real estate, one of the beauties of it is this is 1031. It's not a tax-free, but it's a tax-deferred exchange. So let me explain how this works. Let's say I buy a piece of property for $100,000. And a couple of years later, it goes up to, let's say, $300,000. So suddenly I sell it, and I have a $200,000 capital gains here. And if this was traditional capital gains, I would pay 15, today in America, I'd pay 15% of that to the government, which is not bad. If I had done this in less than a year, it might be 35% taxable rate of $200,000. But the beauty of real estate is I can put this money with what's called a qualified, and we used to call them exchange agents. They don't really call that. It goes into this fund, and it's handled by a person who's a specialist in the 1031. The money, this $200,000 capital gains where this whole transaction goes in here, and then I can pull outside of here the $200,000, and I can buy, let's say, another piece of property, let's say $1 million property, using that $200,000 down payment without paying any of the taxes upon my gains over here. So very simply, what a 1031 allows me to do is I can defer my taxes without having to pay them, which means I can get more of my money over time. Eventually, technically, you're supposed to pay the taxes on it, but most people don't. They just keep pushing it forward until they don't need the money anymore. So one of the powers of real estate is in America called the 1031 exchange. This here is somebody who specializes it. You can go in the phone book or ask a real estate broker about these people, and they will help you acquire more property without having to pay that much in taxes. And so that's one of the advantages of real estate over paper assets such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. You can actually sell but not have to pay the taxes immediately.